Hi everyone, my name is Varsha and welcome to Study with Varsha. So today I have taken 27 question with answer, and that is DevOps from zero to production interview plus real project concept. This question one of my friend get in the interview, and mainly in MNC this kind of question they ask. This all question is the real question which one of my friend get in the interview. So we will discuss this so that you people will get some benefit, and if this question will ask with you, so that you can give the answer. What happened guys, that you know the answer of this question, but suddenly if the interviewer will ask, we are not prepared, to give the answer of that question even though we know the answer. So once we will see these things, so our mind will strike, okay, this kind of question also interviewer can ask. So the first question is, what is branching strategy in Bitbucket? So if you have mentioned Bitbucket also for version control system and Jenkins both, so it may be possible they will ask the branching strategy in Bitbucket, branching strategy in Jenkins, and branching strategy in both. So, what answer you can give? See, here I have given that a branching strategy in Bitbucket defines how source code is organized, okay, and managed across different branches during development, testing, and production. How source code is organized and managed, different branches. The main goal is to allow multiple developers to work in parallel while keeping the production code stable. In Bitbucket, we usually use Git-based branching strategy. Now, the question is what branching? Here it is written Git-based branching strategy along with the pull request and pipelines. So, common this only interviewer expect that you will give Git branch strategy. Common branches include feature branch for development and main or master branch for production ready code. Sometimes environment specific branches like develop or QA. So branching strategy will help in parallel development, proper code review through the pull request, stable releases, control deployment. So in real project, Bitbucket branching strategy is enforced using branch permission, mandatory pull request, and code review and CI pipelines. In simple term, you can say that if you are able to say in this way, it's very good. But if you are not able to recall all this thing, you just say Bitbucket use Git based branching strategy where we use feature branch for development, means for testing, and if it will get successful, we will raise a pull request, and after approval of the pull request, it will move to the main or master branch. So this is the Git based branching strategy which we follow in Bitbucket. Now again the question arises, what is a branching strategy in Jenkins? So Jenkins itself does not create branches. Instead, Jenkins consume Git branches and execute pipeline based on them. So a Jenkins branching strategy define how Jenkins behave when different branches are built. So using Jenkins multi-branch pipeline, Jenkins automatically discover branches from Bitbucket or GitHub and run pipeline for each branch based on the Jenkins file. For example, feature branch run like C. Here also, if we will talk about whenever we write Jenkins pipeline, okay, in that pipeline itself, for example, if you are using Maven as a build tool, so in the stage of build, you can keep as feature branch for build and test, and you can make, when we have to deploy our dev environment, we can take develop branch, and when we have to deploy our production environment, then at that time you can take as a main branch in the stage environment, you can mention in the Jenkins pipeline itself. So that the branching strategy which Jenkins use. So Jenkins is using, you can say, multi branch pipeline. In simple term, Bitbucket is Git based branching strategy, and Jenkins is multi branch pipeline strategy it is used to follow. Now, next question is, how do you explain branching strategy in both Bitbucket and Jenkins? So Bitbucket handles how the code is organized and merged using branches and pull requests. How code is organized means create and merge with the help of PR, merge, and after that pull request. Jenkins handle what happened to the code after changes are pushed to those branches. Simple term, Bitbucket defines where the code lives and Jenkins define what happened to the code. This is the key line you remember. Understood? Now, one of the question, they will ask you which build tool you used in your project. If you will say Maven, so they will ask some question in Maven. Like in Maven, the question they asked, do you use Artifactory and where it is used? So you all know whenever we will run the command ambient clean package, we will get one Artifactory. Now the question is, do you use Artifactory and where it is defined? That Artifactory is where it is defined. So the answer will be yes, we use Artifactory as the artifact repository. Maven needs to know from where it should download repository, and this is configured either in pom.xml or in setting.xml. So in real project, Artifactory is usually configured in setting.xml using mirrors. So where Artifactory is configured, setting.xml using mirror, so that all dependency including Maven central are fetched through Artifactory. So this provides security, caching, faster build and centralized dependency management. Where it is defined? It is defined in setting.xml. Always remember setting.xml. Now the next question is a Java project where are dependencies defined? So they will ask which project you have used, Java, Python, which. So if you are saying I have used Java project, now they will ask where the dependency is defined. Like if you are using Maven as a build tool, this question is also on Maven. Okay, so there is some dependency, correct? Like group ID, artifact ID, version. So this dependency where you will define if the project is Java, because for Java project only we are using Maven as a build tool. So in this question you have to say in a Java and Maven project, dependency are defined in pom.xml. In pom.xml, inside the that dependency section will be there. So each dependency, group ID, artifact, versions, each and everything you will write there. So Maven read this file, resolve dependency, download them and store them in where? .m2, that we called as a Java home or Maven home also. .m2 repository that we call as a home of the Maven. So there they will store that repository after resolving, but it is defined in pom.xml and it will store in .m2 repository. Now which parameter tells Maven where to fetch the Artifactory from? I think you are not getting this question, but let me elaborate this question. This is also Maven based. So in some parameters will be there. If dependency is there, some parameters is there. So now the interviewer want to know that which parameter, like something you have defined, correct? Like some stage, something you have write or something you have given the steps, so that Maven will know that okay, from here we have to fetch the Artifactory. So the answer is the URL parameter. So that URL parameter that will be inside mirror, okay, or repository, tells Maven where to fetch Artifactory from. So repository is usually defined in pom.xml and mirror is defined in setting.xml. So mirror and repository, both configuration forces Maven to fetch all the dependency via artifact. Okay, now this question also on the Maven. How do you explain this clearly to an interviewer? See, why I have written this? Because this question is something, misunderstanding, something not clear. That's why I written in Maven dependencies are defined in pom.xml, but the artifact source is configured in setting.xml. See how clear it is. Dependency pom.xml. Artifact source, like when you will get artifact after that is the final executable code. Okay, that artifact where it is configured, that is configured in setting.xml using repository or you can mirror configuration. So the URL parameter tells Maven where to fetch artifact from which URL parameter. Now they will ask you, okay Varsha, up to now it is correct, now tell me what is 400 error. So you all know, and I will suggest you, please, it not possible to cover all the error, but please see what is 400 error, what is 403 error. Some error I am just giving you, or other you can search in the chat GPT or you can Google it and you will get the question and you will try to find an answer. Or you can ping the question in the chat box, I will give the answer. So if interviewer want to know what is 400 error, 400 error is bad request. And this means that the client has sent an invalid or malformed request. So the server cannot process it because of the syntax, incorrect syntax, missing parameter or invalid data. Common issue what it will be when invalid JSON payload or missing required fields, incorrect request format. This is client side error 400. For example, if you have, let's say if you have uh, your image that is already there in your ECR, okay. Now again if someone is trying to change it or if someone is trying to again push it, change it, is it possible? No. So that is called 400 error. Another example, what is HTTP 403 error? This is forbidden error, which means the request is valid but the user does not have permission to access the resource. Maybe because of that user does not have proper IAM permission, unauthorized role or security policies blocking access. Security policies means, for example, whenever you have defined networking concept in that some security is there. So inbound rules you did not define like allow proper port, or net gateway you did not allow proper port, or NSCL is there, you have denied some port. So in that scenario you will get 403 error. So you have to check all that networking concept and IAM policies. Now what is 404 error? So 404 is not found, means the request 400 means bad, it means request only set invalid. 403 means does not have proper permission, but 404 means that request does not found, means that thing is only not exist. That means wrong URL, API endpoint removed, or file or object not found. So this is the 10. Now move to the next question. Can an existing artifact be modified? See what are the example I have given. If some artifact is there, so can you modify it? No, because in standard artifact repository release artifact are immutable, means that you cannot change modify it, but you can change it with new. So once published they should not be modified. Modifying artifacts breaks build reproductivity and can cause production issue. So only a snapshot version can be updated, and those are used only in the development environment, not in the production environment. Now, how do you get more Maven logs? See, the question what it is. For example, if you get the some error in the Maven, okay, whatever the logs you are getting in the Maven, that are not enough to troubleshoot the issue. You want to get more logs so that you can troubleshoot the issue. What is the command for that? So answer is, if Maven logs are insufficient, we can increase verbosity using flags. Some flags is there. This is very important question. Please remember, if you have told that artifact you are using Maven, that is -x for debug logs. So it depends, like ambient clean install -x, that is for debug, -e for full stack trace, and -b for CI friendly. So you will use this command, ambient clean install -x, that will be capital X, or -e. If you will run this command, you will get extra logs for Maven, and you can troubleshoot your issue and you can resolve the problem. So this command, please remember, ambient clean install. If you are not remembering, just remember ambient clean install -x. So that will be enough for debug logs. Now, what code quality check do you perform? See, first they will ask which code quality tool you have used. Okay, for example, in my case, I can say that SonarQube I have used. Now, the next question they will ask, okay, Varsha, then let me know what code quality check do you perform with the help of SonarQube. So I can say we can check successful builds, unit test execution, code coverage, static code analysis, security vulnerability, code duplication, and no critical issue, coverage above threshold, zero. So accordingly to you can say. Now, do you run SonarQube on every build? It means the interviewer is want to ask, SonarQube, do you have build on every, dev also, prod also, pre-prod also? So the answer will be no. We run SonarQube only on a specific build, such as a pull request at that time, or mean or develop branches. Running Sonar on every build increase pipeline time and cost without much benefit, you can say. Because friends, you all know that we can't run the SonarQube on every stages. In real time also, in dev and all environment, you are not going to run the SonarQube scanner, because that will take unnecessary time. Because here you just have to check the code. Now if you have to run deploy in the production, before that in pre-prod you can check one time, and not on all the stages. Only when when pull request has been done, at that scenario you can run one stage, or not in every stage. Okay, because once the thing has been built, so there is no usage of code quality check. So before build only we can use the SonarQube for the code quality. Now the next question, which plugin do you use for SonarQube? So the answer will be Sonar Maven plugin. Okay, that is ambient sonar sonar. Now, which tool do you use for code coverage? That is the main question. Code coverage, this is the new word for me also, but my friend get in the interview, that's why I'm explaining. They ask which tool do you use for code coverage in Maven point of view. So the answer will be, we use JaCoCo, JaCoCo, JaCoCo for every code coverage in Java project. JaCoCo, that what it will do, it will collect coverage during test execution and generate the report that later are consumed by the SonarQube. So when we will use JaCoCo, so what it will do, it will generate two things. One is test execution, that is test report, and another is that report it will generate by, that will consumed by the SonarQube. Now what are the report extension? So this report, two things they are generating. So now this report extension will be what? So it will be depend on the test, like if you are doing unit test, XML, HTML, if human readable format, or JaCoCo execution data, that will be .exec. Anyone you can say, that will be fine. Next question they ask with him, that what deployment strategy you have worked with. So if you will see blue green, so I have worked with blue, like rolling deployment, blue green deployment, recreate deployment. Each strategy is choose based on the downtime tolerance and application criticality. So you can say this answer, but you can say, like if you want to say canary deployment, you can say that also. Then they will ask next question, whatever the deployment, whatever the deployment name you will tell, then they will ask, okay, let me explain. For example, if you had tell blue green deployment, the next question is, how do you do in blue green deployment? So in blue green deployment, blue is current production, and green will be new version, or you can say live version. So deploy new version to the green. Test it, switch traffic using load balancer, application load balancer, and if health check will be fine, it will shift it to the green version. And if that health check of ALB will be failed, then we will roll back to the blue version. So this ensures zero downtime. Now, how do you check active inactive version? It means, for example, if you have something, okay, so this is active or inactive, like which version is active, like JDK 17 is active or 16 is active, how can we check? Or which version of deployment is active? So we can check with the load balancer target group, or you can check if you are using ECS, so you can check service or task definition. In the task definition it is there which version it is there. If you application version endpoint and monitoring matrix also, we can see that the version receiving live traffic is active. Now next question is, how does pipeline determine active and inactive version? So this is on the basis of AWS. But if we are using Jenkins, Bitbucket, anything for CI/CD pipelines, now how you can find in that pipeline itself? So the answer will be the pipeline check traffic routing configuration. Okay, such as which target group. Okay, here it is load balancer target group is there, na? So in Jenkins also it will say which target group is attached to the production listener. Traffic defines the active version. So whatever it will be there in the production listener, that target group is only active. Now they will ask, have you faced deployment issue? So this will be based on your experience. You can say like health check failure, config mismatch, wrong, as per your. So I'm not going to explain this because everyone face the different issues in the production. So this question is for you. Please comment in the comment box and let me know like which deployment issue you people face, so that other people also will get benefited. Please comment in the comment box, or you can ping in my Telegram channel also. Next question is using same Java version in Docker file correct? Yes, of course it is correct, because we have to use same, whatever the Java version we are writing in the Docker file, same we have to use for building also. So Java, yeah, that is correct. Now proper explanation for Java version consistency. What is Java version consistency? Using the same Java version across build, Docker image, runtime, ensure consistent behavior and avoid runtime failures such as unsupported class version error. See, this is a shell script. Then they ask to write one simple shell script so that you can check that worker node. On the worker node, which worker node is active. So we can use this is the simple shell script, if you can see. Okay, and as per your understanding this will be vary, so you can check that. Now last question is, which plugin do you use for SonarQube and which tool you use for code coverage? So for SonarQube analysis in Java Maven project, use the Sonar Maven plugin, and for code coverage we use JaCoCo Maven plugin. So JaCoCo generate the code coverage report during text execution, and SonarQube reads this report to display. So this already I have discussed. This will generate two report, one coverage report and one is test reports, and then the extension will be .xml. So this is the question which mostly MNC asked for the experience of 3 to 5 years. So if you are having 3 to 5 year experience, please go through this, and if you have below also or more also up to 8 year also, then also this will be good for you. And thank you for watching Study with Varsha. Have a great day, and please share this video with your friends also, so that all people will get benefit. Thanks again guys.